All right, folks. Hey, it's Frank the Pest Geek. I'm doing an introduction to the local SEO masterclass for those of you that are here to take the course or are looking online to take the course of what you're going to get in this mastermind or master class, really, course. One of the reasons I'm doing this master class is because for over a decade, I've been doing my own SEO. On 3 occasions, I have tried to hand off the SEO to several agencies and have been met with dismal failure in comparison to what I've done and what I do, including crashing my SEO, losing it for over 30 days, being able to rank me instantly to impress me, and then to find out an algorithm comes out, and because they use black hat tactics to give me a quick result, they went ahead and everything crashed and I lost my SEO again, and I had to wait another 30 days and work on it in extent for over 6 months in order for me to restore my SEO. And as a result, I decided to keep it in-house, not give it out again, not continue to do it, hire a full-time person in-house to do all of my SEO. And little by little, I'm handing it off to them. And what I've learned about SEO and about local SEO, in this class, we're going to be focused specifically on Google Business Profile. Google Business Profile is formerly known as the GMB, Google My Business, and now it's GBP, Google Business Profile. So it is specifically designed for local businesses to advertise or be on what is known as the 3-pack, the 3 first map listings that show up in the Google search results. So what we're doing is showing people how to do this for themselves, or decide if they have enough information that they can now manage an agency with the correct KPIs, with the right amount of information, that they can then hold them accountable or know if the SEO company is actually doing it. Because what I keep getting over and over again is I'm hiring them, but I'm not seeing any results. I've hired them for 6 months. They charged me X amount and I never saw any results. And when I do the analysis on these companies and I look at what they actually did, a lot of it is black hat stuff behind the scenes, not even related to the GMB. Getting sometimes quick results like I got and then crashing. But what I found is they're not doing anything for you really, because what they're banking on, what SEO and most ad companies are banking on, are 3 things. You're a busy person who is a solo operator or a small business owner who has no time. You also don't have any knowledge of marketing or SEO, and as a result don't have the time to educate yourself. So you're an easy mark, and you're desperate for new leads, and they make promises of things you want to hear, of quick results, but in the end it never gets produced. And you end up losing the money because you were in a bind, you were in a hurry, you're too busy, you don't have time to check. You're trusting that you hire a company to do something when in fact you have to learn to be a manager. And what you tend to do every single time with employees, with agencies, with admins, with anything you delegate, is that you don't delegate, you abdicate. You tend to just hand it off and trust without verifying. And what we have to learn to do is either be able to verify the information, know what it is they're actually going to be doing, so that you can have the intelligent conversation, hold their feet to the fire, and basically be able to determine if, once you start dealing with all this, you will find out quickly that the agency, the SEO agency, doesn't want to do business with you because you're no longer an easy mark. So what we're going to be doing, what I find normally, is that the setup of the GMB is done incorrectly. And we have to go through it step by step, showing you how to correctly set up your Google Business Profile, your GMB. Okay. What I find is that 90% of the time I go in there, it's either incorrect, not filled out correctly, missing stuff. So we need to go through that. And we're going to go through an entire profile to show you all the things that need to be there to have a Google GMB profile. And I got to be honest with you, it's just this is part of an integrated management, integrated marketing program. GMB by itself is not an ad solution. It is designed to get you about 15 to 30 leads a month, but the initial setup time is high. So there is a high setup time with GMB because it's just like integrated pest management or anything. You have to set it up. It's not set it and forget it. It's set it up and then you have to maintain it. And then you have to manage it correctly. You can do this with or without a website, and we can show you how. If you don't have a website, to set up a really quick Google site that can interact with it and set it up correctly, a simple one-page site that will be able to manage this for you. Understanding semantic and entities. What people don't understand is that Google is moving away and has been moving away from just keywords. What originally was thought is, remember back in the day in the early 90s, you would be doing a search for something, like, how do I do this, and end up in a porn site. That's because keyword stuffing and all the algorithms that have come out, all of, Braintree, all of these updates have dealt with so much of this, where now Google is really focused on entities. And if you're a pest control company, okay, then Google understands that you do ant control, that you do roach control, that you do rodent control, that you do termites, that you do wildlife, that you can do all of this stuff. And therefore, this is why when now you hire an ad company or an SEO company or something, you get calls for things that you don't even do because they're all related. Google is saying, hey, this is related to the search. The marketing company is in the business of getting you the most leads so that they can make the most money per lead. They're not interested in that being that exact for you. So this is why you get frustrated. You're getting leads for wildlife when you don't even do wildlife. You're getting lead for termites when you don't do termites. The solution for a lot of this, and I'm giving away a lot of free advice on this class, is that you partner up locally with companies that do, and then you sell them that lead. So in other words, if you pay $13 for that lead, you could mark that lead up for $15 because now you have a qualified lead. You can mark it up $25 and work with local people that say, hey, look, I'm going to give you all these leads that I don't deal with because I'm going to get them. Fighting the companies on giving you credit back for leads that you don't perform or you don't do, and you're getting, let's say, 50 to 80% of things you don't do because you only do GPC, you only do ants, roaches, rodent, bed bugs, and these things, and you're not doing any of this, the time consumption that it's going to take for you to go and battle this is not worth your time. It's much cheaper to eat it and find a better solution, or to simply not do it, because this is the reality of a lot of people face in doing local marketing and doing marketing with a lot of companies. Understand that Google is in the business of clicks. They're not in the business of getting you business. They're in the business of clicks. Referral and agencies that do lead generation are only interested in doing one thing: getting paid for the lead that they generated. Whether you sell it, whether you close it, whether you do it, it doesn't matter to them. That is the business they're in. Understand that you're in the pest control business, trying to run a pest control business, and everybody else is in the business of selling you a tool, a pick and a shovel. The only people that made money in the gold rush were the people that sold pickaxes, mules, jeans, Levi Strauss. Everybody is in the business of selling you a tool. This is a tool. The way I'm doing it is for two reasons. One is, again, you're going to be able to know if you can do this yourself. Number two is if you decide to hire a company or you decide to do nothing with it at all, because right now it isn't for you. You have no way of knowing this until you actually take the class, understand it, and decide whether it's free. But at least I can save you, $2,000 to $3,000 a month of wasted money, or a lot of headache down the road when you find out that these companies could not deliver on the things that you need or want. And what you got to understand, it is part of an integrated marketing program, and that it is long term, and that it's not going to yield an instant result, that this can take 90 days to 6 months, depending on the level of competition. If you're in a low competition market, this will work faster. If you're in a medium competition market, it's going to work slow. If you're in a really high competition market, I mean, if you're downtown, Brooklyn, or you're downtown Boston, or you're in a Miami, or in a highly competitive market, you're going to have to do more work than the person that is in a low competition market. It just stands to reason. The problem is people don't understand that the SEO that most companies are charging for and want the client is the people that are in the easy market. I mean, think about it. If we're in the pest control business, do you want to do a complicated bed bug job where you're going to charge the same amount of money as a simple ant job, where you can go in and one initial service and then do a follow-up and it's solved? Or do you want to have to do something where you got to follow up 3 and 4 times to do? And what these companies do is the 80-20 rule. It's very simple. We sign up people. It'll work for 80% of people. It won't work for 20% of people. Their expectations are not realistic. They're not aligned with the reality. But the salespeople's job is not to determine that. The salespeople's job is to get a signed contract, get a signed deal where you're now a subscriber, and 6 months later this doesn't work for you. They say basically, look, it just doesn't work for you. You can drop it anytime. And there's no contract, but there's also no guarantees and no commitments. And this is the reality of doing any type of marketing, whether you're doing ads, whether you're doing lead generation, whether you're doing SEO. It doesn't really matter. The reality is, what took me 2 years to accomplish in Miami, initially when I first started doing SEO back in 2013, the mistakes that I made, you can benefit from all of my mistakes, where I found out the things I did wrong that I should have never done. But I was listening to a bunch of people. I went online and found out who is the guy that really knows, followed him for 6 months, did the research for 6 months, watched the 100+ hours of YouTube videos on how to do 2, 3, 4 tasks, and acquired the experience over the last 10 years. And so you can benefit from that experience, whatever that experience for you is. You can benefit from it. And this is why I'm doing the masterclass. So you got to understand semantics. That is more important to do that than keywords. You have to learn to do competitive analysis and spy on your competition. The only person that doesn't need to do this, if the person that's going to stay a solo operator forever, never going to grow, and that doesn't care what their competition is doing. But the reality is, you got to know what the competition is doing so that you can beat them, because SEO, just like anything else, is about competition. It is a competitive sport. You have to learn how to do keyword analysis for local. So these are things that you got to learn. You got to understand the difference between overall ranking in the marketplace and specific keywords you want to rank for, and how to rank for those specific keywords. And that is much harder than giving you an overall rank, where the company chooses the keywords they're going to go after. Then they send you a report at the end of the month, says, look, we ranked you for all of these keywords. That may be wonderful, but in 16 keywords you ranked me for only produced 1 call. I paid $299. I paid $699. I paid $2,000 a month for 2 phone calls. Understand that that's the game. And you have to be willing to play that game. You're going to get ranked for lower keywords while you're trying to rank also for the top competitive keywords. But understand that if you're in a market that's highly competitive, all of your competition is also trying to rank for those keywords. And you have to learn where the weaknesses are in your competition to exploit them, so that you're able to then outrank them, or at least get into the top 3. And that is the goal of this. And you're going to have to decide how much work you're actually going to have to put into this to make this happen for you, and decide whether 30 leads a month, 15 leads a month is worth this, because it could potentially generate for you 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2x the investment. The ROI, you're not going to know the ROI until you do it and figure it out if it's for you. Nobody can guarantee you that. I can't do that. I can't tell you that if you do this in every market, you're going to have success. That would be a total lie, because what I have to do here in Miami is not the same somebody might have to do somewhere in a small town in the middle of Idaho. Also, if you're in a big rural area where you only have 20 homes within 2.5 to 5 miles, this might not be for you either, because you're just too rural. So you have to understand all of this, and I'm giving you basically the nutshell of what you can expect. But in the end, the only way to know is if you take the course, you take the class, you understand it all, because this is going to be probably 9 to 12 hours of training where I can't explain this in a 1-hour class. It's just no way I can do it. Which automation software you need to use? There's free stuff and then there's paid stuff. Understand that anything that's free is going to be very limited. And a lot of the time, the free stuff, the labor that it costs you to get the free stuff versus paying the $30, $50, $100 a month for the software is not worth the time. You're better off paying the $30 to $50 a month that it costs for the software in order to run this, do the test, do the analysis, do all this. Learning how to properly optimize images. Using ChatGPT to write all of this for you so that you can do this in maybe 15 minutes a day, or if you decide to do it for the whole week with automation software, you can spend maybe 2 hours once a week and do a lot of this stuff automated for the maintenance part of this. Stacking process. How do you interlink different things together with offers and posts and calendars and events to generate what is known as a stack? And where there's different types of stack. There's Google Stack. There's a GPT stack. How do you use all this to stack in the stacking process? And then learning to use press releases for SEO for backlinks, because there's ways that you can get backlinks through social media. It's very important that you have a Twitter account, that you have a Facebook account, because when you're doing stacking, you can go ahead and post your GMBs, which is what I recommend everyone to do, is post the GMB post with a backlink to from Twitter and from Facebook, because that generates backlinks to that GMB. And learning to use Google Maps. How do you use Google Maps to generate backlinks and generate traffic? We're going to be covering this in the class. So it's a very extensive class. It's going to require homework that you do, or at least a lot of note taking. The classes are going to be recorded, like this one, where we're going to record the class so that you can go back, rewatch it again if you need to rewatch it. No problem in the course. Plus, if you decide the live class isn't for you, the reason I want to do a live class is because it will generate a lot of questions that I can answer for you live that I will not be able to answer for you on the pre-recorded. So there is an advantage to going live. We're going to go Zoom. The class is going to start December 2nd of 2023. It's going to be at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every single Saturday until we're done recording this, and then we're going to publish it. And it's going to be published every week also, by the way. I'm just going to publish on a weekly basis as we take the class. So if you sign up for it, understand that you're going to get a weekly class so that you can do it. If you're not able to attend the Saturday morning live sessions, you're able to still participate in the class. There's going to be It's going to be a private network. It's not going to be published on Facebook. There's going to be no commenting on the only way that you can get the mastermind is to join the class, and then we're going to have later a weekly mastermind where we get together and I answer questions for people based on the questions they have with the mastermind, because new things are going to come up. Google is changing very rapidly. This is going to give you a good backbone, but for those people that want to do it themselves and are going to do it themselves, they're going to get their admin to do it. They're going to get their son to do it, their daughter to do it, their wife to do it. Somebody's going to do it for them. They can be in the class. I would recommend they watch it, but it's going to be a step-by-step process. A lot of hand-holding is going to be able to happen in this class because of the technical nature of things that we're going to be discussing that most people are intimidated by. And what I want to do is remove that intimidation that you have and take it slow so that you're able to follow along, able to implement, able to execute on this to the fullest extent. So I hope this helps you. This is Frank the Pest Geek wishing you a pestacular day. By the way, this is not only for pest control people. This is for any service business. So understand that I focus on pest control. I understand pest control. I understand the SEO for pest control, but really you can apply it to any service business, any local business that you have. This can be applied for. Have a pestacular day.